Have a Train dealer. From Kings Mountain to Polkville, from Lawndale to Bellwood, from Falston to Earl, Roland Black Heating and Air will be there for you. They're only a phone call away at 704-865-1375. In minutes, a comfort specialist will be at your door for your heating or cooling needs. Yes, it's hard to stop a train. Again, call Roland Black Heating and Cooling at 704-865-1375. Your hometown Train dealer for over 36 years.
The injured Golden Lion player, Antoine Wright, who was the recipient of that 4-yard shovel pass, and Shelby's facing a 3rd and 6 with both Raekwon Washington and Antoine Wright out of the game. And a Shelby lineman comes up out of his stance, and he knows right away it's on him. 5-yard penalty against the Golden Lions, and now we're back to a 3rd and long at 3rd and 11 from the Shelby 35. Shelby, of course, had a 3rd and 17 on the last possession, and then threw a 57-yard touchdown strike to Chad Reed. So let's see if the Golden Lions can overcome yet another 3rd and long situation. Shelby's got number 34. I believe that's Jaden Borders in at one of the wide receiver slots for Wright. And RJ's back to pass, and he's got Jaquavius Brooks, who is absolutely drilled. Ball comes out. I think Draughn has recovered it, and Brooks is hurt. He caught a screen pass and was hit after he took about 2 steps forward, and he was drilled. Ball comes loose. One official says Draughn's football, but they're talking about it. May call this an incomplete pass.
I believe they are going to rule it an incomplete pass.
They're actually calling a helmet-to-helmet penalty on Draughn on the tackle. So that's a 15-yard penalty. They're going to call it a completed pass for no gain. And then they're going to call it a 15-yard penalty.
So 1st down off penalty. Golden Lions let off the hook on that. So the Golden Lions have the ball 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe after kind of a tough luck call. I can see why they called it, but for people who've watched football all their lives, that just looked like a really good hit.
It was a great hit. And Brooks stays in the game, and, heck, he takes the handoff, and he's got a hit of his own as he drills a defensive back, and he goes flying. Problem is, I think Brooks got up and told him what he did to him, and he's been flagged for 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. And now he comes out, and Buck Ussery into the ball game.
And that's just the kind of thing that we talked about we just don't need to have. And so that's going to be what was going to be 2nd and 5 is now going to be a 15-yard penalty. I didn't see whether he signaled dead ball. It should have been dead ball. Either way, we're going to have 20 to go, so it's just a question whether it's going to be 1st or 2nd down. It is 2nd down, so that's a dead ball penalty, which makes it that much worse. So Golden Lions have 2 penalties for 20 yards now. Now looking at 2nd and 20.
So a relatively clean game until these last 3 plays, and we've had a 5 and a 15 and a 15. And R.J. George all time to throw, and he's over the middle. Jaden Borders tipped in the air and almost picked off. That time George threw into triple coverage, and Borders still almost came up with a reception.
That's true. R.J. has such a strong arm that sometimes he sees crevices that we don't, and it did look like he threw it in triple coverage, but Borders got his hands on it, so just about completed. So again, here we have the 3rd and very long again.
Good news, Antoine Wright back in the game for the Golden Lions, and George back to pass. He's got time. He steps up in the pocket. Now he's getting a rush, and he rolls left, and he's looking. He's got Michael Gillette, and Gillette had it in his hands, but he bobbles it as he's hit on the sideline by Morton, and Gillette can't come down with it. Pass falls incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 20. Golden Lions punt unit coming on the field.
4:06 remaining in the 1st quarter, and Golden Lions in punt formation looking to get the ball back to the Draughn Wildcats. Last 2 passes actually were in the hands of Golden Lion receivers, but they couldn't hold on to it.
Good snap. Hyatt gets off a kick, and it's a high. Does not turn over, but it's going to be fielded and fumbled by Draughn, and that's going to be 25, Kylon Ross, the playmaker, on the recovery. And Shelby gets that 2nd turnover of the ball game. Coach Ware said we got to flip the turnover ratio from -2, and I think Shelby has evened it up on these last 2 series as they come up with the interception and now the fumble recovery.
So it's a 35-yard punt that was muffed, and then the Golden Lions recovered it. So the Golden Lions back in business here with 3:52. Clock is running. It shouldn't be running yet because it's a change of possession, but we're not going to quibble over that one.
At the Draughn 30, first down, slant to Antoine Wright. He's got it, and he's still on his feet, and he's finally wrestled down, but not until he's inside the 15. And I tell you, Antoine, I was going to throw this stat out in the pregame, and I didn't. He has 29 catches on the season coming into tonight, 10 of them for touchdowns. You talk about a ratio that you don't see very often. That's a touchdown less than every 3 catches for the whole year, and almost took that one to the house on his 30th catch, but instead he's going to be just short. Actually, that was his 31st catch. And on first down is George calling his own number, and he may walk into the end zone. He's at the goal line. No signal yet.
Number 12, R.J. George.
So I believe he's going to have a first down, but not the touchdown. The official from the other side came tiptoeing in down the line, and we're about 3 feet off the playing field here. We're not very high up in the press box, and it's really hard to see, but it looks like Golden Lions have it first and goal on the 1.
So it was actually from the 11 to the 1, so they gave him a first down. And Buck Ushery is going to score. Touchdown, Golden Lions, after 2 Pegram Insurance first downs on a 19-yard reception by Antoine Wright and a 10-yard R.J. George run. It's Buck Ushery taking it in for the touchdown from 1 yard out. Shelby leads 13-0. Burns Crest knotted at 7 at Sid Bryson Stadium, and we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Steve DeGree, for keeping us updated on the other Cleveland County game. And Luke Hayek's in for the extra point. Good hold. The kick is up. Kick is good. 14-0 Golden Lions back in 30 seconds for Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff.
When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Back to Draughn High School, where Luke Hayek's got it teed up for a Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff. Shelby 14, Draughn 0, 2:52 left here on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard, first quarter clock. And I'm doing some math here because R.J. George came into the game with 2,070 yards passing and only needed to get to 21:58 to be the all-time passing leader at Shelby High. And I'm doing the math, 21:34 plus 19. He's 4 yards shy of Spencer Clark's single-season passing record at Shelby High, so we got to keep an eye on that. If he gets a pass of 5 yards, he'll be the all-time leader.
While Brent was doing the math, Hyatt kicked off pretty much the exact same kickoff he had first time, but this time the official decided that he was going to go ahead and blow that one dead. So Draughn will start on their own 20-yard line.
Corey Lambert behind center. It's a pitch to 45. He's going nowhere as Dominique Patterson might be thrown for a loss here by Shelby defense. And he's not only going to lose a yard, he's going to lose a couple, 2nd and 12.
And he made a heck of a run not to lose 5 or 6. Again, I'm just a little bit confused at why Draughn has suddenly decided let's try to run the ball outside.
They've definitely got a size advantage and a power advantage all the way from the line to the full back. But it's been the guys trying to run outside that's been nothing doing. And Lambert's rolling out on 2nd down to pass, and he's got a man open off the fingertips of Estep, incomplete.
Gosh, I tell you what, I just don't understand football coaches sometimes, Brent. I mean, it just seems like it should be so easy. Is just run the play that works.
Well, it was Estep going for 14 and 6 on his first 2 carries, But it was Lambert throwing the ball for an interception and throwing the ball there to E-step incomplete. And now it's 3rd and 12 from Draugh's 18, and Shelby's defense most likely is going to pin their ears back and rush. And so Clay Husky and Tyrone Allen from those defensive end spots are ready to go. Shelby showing blitz, and it's a misdirection play, and it's got good yardage. I believe that's Morton. Actually, it's Patterson. He's not going to get the first down, but he's going to get some yardage on the play as he's up to about the 26. So he gets about 8.
Nice 8-yard gain. And this is a situation that I was talking about earlier. It's 14-0. Draughn has nothing to lose, and you just got to be ready for anything. I mean, you could run all manner of fakes out of this because, it's just nothing to lose. I mean, this is their last game of the season.
Well, they got Morton as the protector, and Quan Hall, the big fullback's the punter. And he is going to get it off. He's a lefty. It's a high punt that Shelby's going to let drop. It hits a Shelby player, and now Antoine Wright's going to retreat and pick it up to 30, and he makes something out of nothing. And one of the Shelby blockers actually came up, was trying to get out of the way, and the ball hit and bounced into his foot.
And we had a flag that was thrown. That was one of the greatest flag throws I think I've ever seen. I think that thing was thrown about 60 yards. I'm sure it wasn't that far, but, man, he threw that flag a long way.
Was that Art Schleister?
It could be. And I'm afraid it's going to be a flag on the way that's thrown. It's going to be a penalty on the Golden Lions. So that was really, really unfortunate for us. That it was a short punt that hit off a Golden Lion, and so then we had to go back and retrieve it, and then we got a 10-yard penalty on top of it. So Golden Lions are going to start on their own 20 after all that's said and done.
And that's where we'll start it. Shelby's 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Shelby's 3rd penalty.
That's right.
George back to pass, and he fakes, and he's going deep. He's got Antoine Wright and Kylon Ross, but it kind of they zigzag across each other, and it falls in between them. And that could have been a big play for the Golden Lions as they had 2 receivers in pattern and only Travis Cook from Draughn back there to defend it.
Unfortunately, both receivers are running too close to each other, and so that made it possible for one receiver to cover them both. If we'd had a post and a up the sideline pattern, that could have been huge.
Same play, 2nd and 10. He fakes left short and then throws what was supposed to be a screen pass to Kylon Ross, and that falls incomplete. And that play looked a little discombobulated. It's 3rd and 10 Shelby. And now George has thrown 4 incompletions out of his last 5 passes, unlike RJ, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 Shelby. 1:08 left in the first quarter. Shelby still up 14-0. Creston Burns 7-7, actually. 14-7 Burns. That's the early game. And George goes to Ralph Jolly, and Jolly's got a first down catch up to the 40. That's a gain of 20, and another 3rd and long conversion for the Golden Lions.
And that'll be the record for R.J. George because that's about a 20-yard pass.
That's correct. R.J. just broke Spencer Clark's single-season passing record for Shelby High. Still got a game and 3 quarters to go. First down, Pegram Insurance first down for Shelby, and on first down, George is wanting more, and he's across the middle. Kylon Ross gets hit, but a great defensive play by 34, Logan Klein, as he hits Ross right as the ball's delivered and falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was a perfect defensive play that time. Got his hand in there and kind of swatted away as he was making the play. And you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's a really good defensive play. So Golden Lions sitting here at 2nd and 10 now, 49.8 seconds left in the first quarter on their own 40-yard line.
And George barking out the signals. He's got Michael Gillette wide left. In the slot is Kylon Ross. He hands it off to Buck Ussery, and Buck's bouncing it out. He's across the 40 to the 45. He cuts back inside. He's getting a push from Forrest Roberts, and he's going to be up to the 49, and he's about 9 yards on the carry, about a half a yard shy of a first down.
And that was a play that at the beginning it looked like it might be a 1-yard loss. And so, again, that was a good hard run that time. Bringing up 3rd down and very short. It's going to be less than 1. The question is, will the Golden Lions get to play off? We're inside 20 seconds left, but I think we're ready to snap it.
And Shelby snaps, and R.J. George calls his own number, and he's across the 50 to the 45. He's still on his feet to the 40, 35. He breaks loose, 20, and down inside the 20 the 30 to about the 25. And RJ's got good yardage on his own number and a Pegram Insurance first down.
And that should be the last play of the first quarter. There's only 5.3 seconds left, and as quickly as we do snap the ball, I'm not sure we're going to get it off this quickly.
25-yard run by RJ, I think his longest of the season.
And we did not get it off. We just about did, though. And so that's going to be the end of the first quarter with the Golden Lions leading the Draughn Wildcats 14-0.
And we'll be back right after this break for second quarter action. You're listening to Golden Lions football on KTCBroadcasting.com and WHS 1390 AM Shelby.
Don't miss the grand opening specials at Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can get up to $15,000 equity assistance to get you right side up or lower your payments. That's right, $15,000. And during the Jeep Celebration event, check out our extensive inventory of new Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, and the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Now open 7 days a week for your convenience. Located at I-85 and exit 21 and online at GastoniaDodge.com.
End of the first quarter, it's Golden Lions 14-0 over the Draughn Wildcats. And in the first quarter, R.J. George became the all-time leading passer, single-season passer for Shelby High as he's eclipsed Spencer Clark's record of 2,157 yards. And every pass from here on out, RJ would just be adding to that record. Right now, it's Golden Lions 1st and 10 from the Draughn 26 after RJ ran for a 25-yard Pegram Insurance first down. And on 1st and 10, late coming into the game is Kylon Ross. And George with an empty backfield's back to pass, and he's going up top, and he's got Ralph Jolly. Touchdown, Shelby. Jolly goes low to the ground, but he comes up with a 26-yard touchdown reception, and Shelby goes up 20-0.
That was a really nice reception by Ralph. That was a play that looked like maybe he just short-armed it just a little bit, but it got there, and Ralph made a good catch. I didn't think we were going to get the catch, and the official that was right behind it immediately threw his arms up, so he had no doubt about it.
Right for the hold. High snap, gets it down, and Hayek's kick is through. Shelby 21, Draughn 0, 11:53 left, and the second quarter will be back right after this.
Shelby Savings Bank.
It's just better here.
With local decisions,
Better.
flexibility,
Better.
and knowing how to treat people.
It's just
Better. Better.
It's just better here.
We're here to help our neighbors do better.
It's just better here.
With our best deal mortgage guarantee,
It's just better. Better. Better.
Better here.
great products,
It's just better here.
and 2 convenient locations.
It's just.
It's just better here.
Now more than ever, Shelby Savings Bank. It's just better here. Member FDIC.
Here at Draughn High School, it's the Shelby High Golden Lions 21, Draughn Wildcats 0. We're just 7 seconds into the second quarter, and Luke Hayek's got it teed up for his third Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff of the evening, and this one is going to be taken about the 5 by Morton, that's Dominique Patterson, and he's up across the 25 to about the 27, and Draughn will take over there with their third possession of the game.
That's a most unusual kickoff by Hayek because, we've seen some 55-yard, 50-yard kickoffs, but they've been very high. But that was a line drive, which gave him a good chance to make a return. Golden Lions actually did a nice job of holding him inside the 30. So Draughn starts on their own 26-yard line. Golden Lions up 21-0.
It's Lambert under center, and E-Step, the fullback behind him, and it's going to be E-Step, and he's carrying Shelby defenders for a gain of about 6. And in on the stop for Shelby, Kent Clemens, Tyrone Allen and company. And but not before E-Step gets 5.5 on first down.
Again, that's a nice play. I mean, we called it 13 read to the fullback. The quarterback's not going to keep it. He's just giving the ball. It's going right off the right off the left side of the guard, and he just runs, and that's a tough play if you run hard.
2nd down and 5, and it's E-step again. This time it's Tyrone Allen with help from Gary and Addison stands him up, and it took 3 Shelby Golden Lions to keep E-step from falling forward. But you got to give Tyrone Allen some credit as he stood him up and held his ground and then allowed his teammates to come in and help him finish it off.
Well, another thing that really helps on that is where big number 10 came from is the backside. So what he did was he actually ended up crossing the center's face and helping make that tackle. And that's the one way you can really wreak havoc on that fullback dive if somebody comes from the backside gap.
3rd and 4, and it's a trap play, and it's Patterson, and he's got first down action. It's Hayden Hojackney in to trip him up and keep that one from going bigger, but not until Patterson's got the first down.
Again, that's a really nice play. That's the old counter tray. Anybody that used to watch the Washington Redskins back when they had Riggins and the Hogs, I mean, that's just old-fashioned football, pulling the guard and the tackle from the backside, blocking down on everybody, and so they did a nice job with that. And that's the play that Golden Lions tried to work on all week in practice.
11-yard pickup, and this time it's Bumgardner falling forward from the left guard spot, or left tackle spot, and that's going to back Draughn up 5 and bring up a 1st and 15.
What the Golden Lions have done the last couple of plays now is they've brought a man down on the line of scrimmage this time, and so we've got the 5-man line. Sometimes we've done that with Garyon, but right now we've got Garyon still back at linebacker. Looks like we brought in number 44, Michael Marble, to play a defensive tackle position, and that's what we've done.
Lambert hands off to E-step on 1st and 15, and he gets the penalty yardage back plus another yard before he's brought down by Shelby. And E-step's been a workhorse as he picks up 6, going to bring up a 2nd and 9. South Point over North Gaston 21-0. According to Steve DeGree, South Point's run 5 offensive plays for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Whew, that's pretty strong.
Not bad at all. And it's going to be a gain of 7 on that first down run for E-step and bring up a 2nd down and 8. And this time Lambert's going to pitch it out, and the ball's on the ground, and Patterson's going to have to fall on it, but I think Shelby's got it. And I think that's Gary and Addison with the football. And it is. Garyon's got it. And Shelby's going to take over deep in Draughn territory.
About on the Draughn 30, I believe, maybe the 31. And maybe that's why we don't see the quarterback keep the ball very much on that, because he kept it and pitched it out into space. And that is the problem. When you run that option, it is very easy to put that ball down on the ground, and so they did. So let's see what the Golden Lions can do here from the Draughn 31.
Well, that was a loss of 13 for Lambert and a lost fumble. And Shelby quickly up to the line from the 32, and it's George back, and he's looking deep, and he's now getting pressure, and he's rolling right, and Bubba Gardner is going to take him down for the sack back at the 34-yard line.
That was a situation where he just held the ball too long. I mean, he had plenty of time to make the play and made his break to the outside just a little bit too late. That's a situation where he could have gotten rid of the ball, or he could have run a little bit earlier. What was really scary on that is that he was kind of rolled up on the back of his ankle, and he's limping around just a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if he gives this ball to Buck Ushery this time.
And Bumgardner's 295 pounds. And Bumgardner is there to meet Buck Ushery for another loss on the play on 2nd down. And Bumgardner is a hoss, and that's a loss of 1 for Ushery. And now it's 3rd and 13 from the 35.
Which is not unusual. I mean, we have been in a lot of 3rd and longs. I mean, we're up 21-0, but it seems like every time we look, we're on 3rd and forever.
It hasn't been a real clean looking offense, although it's got 3 long touchdown plays, or 2 long ones, and it's a screen pass to Ushery, and he can't get out of the grasp of 22. That's number Donnie Patton, number 22, but Ushery gets yardage back across the original line of scrimmage, so he gets the 3 yards we lost back plus another yard, so it's a 4-yard pass.
Golden Lions will go for it on 4th down.
So let's see what happens. 4th and 9 from the 31. And George back to pass. He's got time, and he's looking. He short arms it. It hops to Ralph Jolly. And the official on the near side says complete, but the official on the far side.
Yeah, all the way from the other side makes the call, which I think is the correct call. It looked like it did bounce. So, Golden Lions turn it over on downs. It's been a while since we've done that, except maybe in toward the end of the game situation.
Draughn takes over on their own 31, so after the fumble, they don't give up but 1 yard to Shelby, and they get the ball right back just across the 30. And 7:25 left in the first quarter. Shelby leads 21-0. Shelby shuffling players in as Michael Marable comes in late to that right defensive end spot, and it's E-step on first down, and he lowers his head before Gary and Addison takes him down for a gain of about 4.
Definitely the key for dealing with the power running game is you got to hit that fullback before he gets going. And because when he gets 2 steps without any kind of contact, then it's hard to stop him for less than 4 yards. Now, when we've had great success, we've hit him in the backfield. And so that's what the Golden Lions are going to have to do. They're going to have to get a little more penetration, or else it's going to be a game where he's going to run a lot.
And there's E-step again, and he's again tripped up, this time by Kent Clemens.
The stop was led by Kent Clemens.
And but he's got some more yardage up to the 38. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 2.
Gary and Addison, shoulder issue right now. He's kind of grasping that right shoulder. That's going to be okay. This, or it could actually be his right wrist, but he's definitely got something going on with his right arm right now.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. He's been in on the last couple of stops, and now he's up at the line of scrimmage, and it's a handoff to Morton. And Shelby was on it, but Morton breaks a tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
But again, that's the difference right there. Golden Lions hit him in the backfield, even though he kept struggling. He wasn't able to make any yardage, and so now we're looking at 4th and 2, and it's hard to say with the punter being their fullback. It looks like they're going for it, which again, that doesn't surprise me. 5:46 left in the first half.
Draughn is going 4th and 2 from their own 20 or 38. And let's see if they go with a hard count. They don't. They give it to big boy E-step. And not only does he get the first, he gets another 5 after that. As he lowers his head and says, "You're not stopping this big guy."
Once again, if he gets a couple of steps, he's hard to bring down, and that was the situation that time. Gary and Addison went off the field right before that play. Now he's back on the field again. It's been a little bit concerning to me to see the number of Golden Lions that have been down on the field and out on the sideline.
E-step on first down. Gary and Addison and Clay Husky on the tackle. He gets maybe 2.5, 3 yards.
2.5, 3 yards, that's exactly the thing they're looking for. Actually, they want about 3.5 every play. Second down, the clock's down inside 5 minutes, 4:57 left in the half, and I think Draughn is perfectly happy to try to pick up 4 or 5 yards every play.
Well, the clock's running. Ball's on about the 47.5-yard line.
Steve DeGree says it's now Crest 14, Burns 14.
It's a tie game in Bowling Springs, and it's Morton, and he's hit low by Hayden Hojackney. That's the 3rd time Hojackney's come up from the secondary to make a nice tackle low. But Morton gets 6, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
3rd and a very short one for that matter. And again, the little counterplay, can definitely see why the Golden Lions wanted to look at it so much. They do a nice job with that, and that's not the counter tray. That's more of an old counter play with just one guard pulling instead of the guard and the tackle.
Morton, kind of an elusive runner, and he goes in motion, but it's E-step, the fullback. He's hit the line of scrimmage and maybe falls forward just across the Shelby 45. This is going to be close to first down yardage. Depends on the spot.
It's going to depend on the spot, and even if he's short, they're going to go for it on 4th down, and I believe they're going to cross the line. They are, so it is going to be a first down. That is the 5th first down for Draughn. The Golden Lions have 10 first downs, and 9 of them were in the first quarter. And so here in the 9 minutes of the second quarter, the Golden Lions hadn't been able to do very much. Now, is that an official timeout, or did Draughn take a timeout?
Well, let's take a 30-second break. We'll be right back. 3:48 to go here. First half, Shelby 21, Draughn 0.
Here's a special money-saving message from Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs. If you use petroleum products, you should consider a generic brand. Major brands charge premium rates covering national advertising and promotions. Good generic brand packages their own products and meets manufacturer specifications, and they can sell at a lower price because of lower overhead. Our generic brands include Wolfhead, Coastal, AutoGuard, and Lubriguard. Buy these brands and you cut your costs. See Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive, Patterson Springs.
All right, back to Draughn High School. The Wildcats, 1st and 10 from the Shelby 45-yard line. They trail the Golden Lions 21-0. 3:48 left here on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. First half scoreboard. And if you just joined us, Shelby scored on a couple of long touchdown passes and 1 touchdown run, and R.J. George has set the single-season passing record. And on first down, Corey Lambert's going to be sacked, and he's fumbled, and Shelby's got it. I think that was Chad Reed from the safety spot or the outside linebacker spot on the sack. And, boy, Lambert's going to lose about 13 or 14 yards on that sack, and Adam Weber has recovered the fumble.
So the 4th turnover now that Shelby has forced, and so this is the game we talked about that we needed as far as, getting some turnovers. And so Draughn goes back on defense, Golden Lion on offense, starting off the Draughn 42. It's important that we do something with it this time. Plenty of time. The longest drive we've had all night has been 2 minutes. So plenty of time for the Golden Lions with 3:39 left in the half.
Shelby from the Draughn 42 after the Chad Reed forced fumble recovered by Adam Weber. And on first down, Michael Goulet had it. And as he started to run, he dropped it. No other way to put it. He was already 2 steps with the ball, but never really had it.
Well, that's really unlike Michael also, because he is really, really sure-handed, and that's 2 times now that he's had the ball in his hands and hadn't been able to catch it. Now, the first time he was being hit, it was a pretty good hit that knocked the ball loose, but that time he would say he just didn't handle it.
2nd and 10, back in the game, Raekwon Washington, and he'll get the handoff, and he's dancing and he's forward. He was hit in the backfield, split 2 defenders, and then ran for good yardage.
Chad Reed.
Oh, Chad Reed. Okay. It's a 5 and not a 6. So Reed seeing his first action at running back.
He looked like Raekwon Washington running that ball, though, I'm here to tell you.
Well, he picks up 12 after nearly being hit in the backfield. And it's a Pegram Insurance first down, Shelby at the Draughn 30-yard line. And it's Reed again, and he's bouncing outside, and he's breaking tackles, and Bumgardner had him 5 yards deep in the backfield, and Reed's going to end up with about a 5-yard gain after the contact. So
that was a really nice run.
Nice run by Chad Reed. And what you're seeing, folks, is that Shelby's got some depth at that running back spot. Raekwon Washington goes down early, and then it's Jaquavis Brooks. Then it's Buck Ussery. Now it's Chad Reed, 2nd and 5, and R.J. George back to pass. Heavy rush. He gets it off, and he's got a man open, and it's a touchdown. Antoine Wright, 25-yard pass play, and Wright with his 11th touchdown catch of the season. And Shelby goes up 27-0 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. 2:40 left in the first half.
Well, I tell you what. R.J. George is just as cool as the other side of the pillow. I mean, he got a little bit of pressure. He stepped up in the pocket. I thought he was going to run for it, but instead he sees Antoine Wright in the end zone and makes a perfect throw. And speaking of perfect, we have a perfect kick. And so it's going to be 28-0 Golden Lions with 2:40 left in the first half.
And we'll take a 30-second break and be back with another Luke Hayek, Jamin J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
What is it?
Here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
Oh no, it's total mayhem.
Hurry, call your good neighbor.
You can't. They're not even there.
Why, they can't even lend a good hand. Oh. Relax. At Pegram Insurance, we've got you covered. Pegram Insurance Agency, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and in the Town and Country Shopping Center in Lincoln.
Kind of fitting we would come back from break right after a Pegram Insurance commercial, as Shelby just got another Pegram Insurance first down on that 25-yard touchdown pass from R.J. George to Antoine Wright. And Luke Hayek's extra point made it Shelby 28-0, and Hayek's kickoff sails to the 2-yard line. And I believe that's Patterson. He's going to get it maybe to the 20, and that's it.
Well, that's the kind of kickoff that we're used to seeing. It's a 58-yard kickoff, but he did everything he could, and he just got back to the 20-yard line, and so that's the kind of I tell you what, Brent, that's the thing that the Golden Lions will really miss next year because I've had the privilege of getting to see a lot of good kickers for Shelby, and Luke Hayek is about as good as any of them at really hitting a high kickoff.
He is, and he's consistent. You just rarely see him kick one of those top spin kickoffs, and he's a good one. First down, and it's a handoff to who else but E-Step, and he does what? Gets about 7 or 8, and then a late flag comes in as Tyrone Allen gets mixed up with Matt Smith from Draughn. Let's see what happens.
Caroline is pointing toward them, and they are backing up. So maybe Caroline knows a lot more than we do right now.
Well, I saw Allen being senior Rayshon Petty taking Allen and saying, "Get out of there."
Yeah. Well,
so didn't let him retaliate.
That's what you need, and it is. It's going to be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which is their third penalty now. So Draughn has 3 penalties for 35 yards, and Shelby has 3 penalties for 30 yards. And so it's one of the few games that thus far the Golden Lions have had less penalties than the opposition. Also going to make it second down in a whole bunch.
Well, what that tells me is E-Step got 10 on the carry. Then there's a 15-yard penalty, which made it 1st and 15. And then Morton carries on first down and gets 2 of it back. Yeah, it was a dead ball foul because the downs changed to second down. So now instead of what I said was going to be a second down, now it's a 3rd and 13 situation. And they're going to lose big yardage as the handoff to Dominique Patterson fools nobody. Rayshon Petty, Gary and Addison, and Greg Ager. And I guess Tyrone Allen I missed as well. So another loss. That one's a loss of 4 for Patterson.
I believe the Golden Lions have taken a timeout right now because there's 1 minute and 39 seconds. The clock has stopped. I guess we figure that minute 39, the way that we've scored so far tonight, we have a chance to kick off with about 40 seconds left. Generally, our drives have been about 59 seconds in length tonight. Our long drive is 2 minutes, and we punted, and so it's been the really moved the ball downfield quickly by the Golden Lions.
Well, you hit it when you said R.J. George was cool because he just has this knack for letting his guys get open if he's got time and not rushing it. And he always seems to find one of those speedy guys open downfield. Quan Hall in the punt, and this one might be returned by Antoine Wright. He takes it at the 48. He bumbles it, but he gets a hold of it. 45, slips into the 40, the 35. He cuts back, 25, 20. And let's see what happens. He's down to the sideline, tiptoeing, and he's still on his feet. And he's dancing in and out. Touchdown, Antoine Wright. Another highlight reel, 48-yard punt return for a touchdown.
Returns the punt for a
And I think he's playmaker number 2 if Calvin Ross is playmaker number 1.
I tell you what, he dribbled the ball too. That's what I liked. He kind of fumbled it and it bounced up in his hands and then let the excitement begin. 48 yards. That's about as exciting a 48-yard return as you'll see. And
it's Hayek in for his 5th extra point of the night. Snap good, hold good, kick is up and good. 35-0 Shelby, 1:21 left on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard. Back in 30 seconds.
Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain has America's top-selling subcompact tractor of the decade, the Kubota BX Series. And now you can save big with this special offer from Kubota and Parker Farm Service. Now you can buy the new Kubota BX Series tractor for 0 money down, 0% APR financing for 60 months. But that's not all. You get a $500 customer instant rebate. Find out all the details at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive at the Oak Grove, Highway 74 Bypass intersection, Kings Mountain.
Well, Antoine Wright has just scored 2 touchdowns in about a minute and 20-second span here the second quarter. And the Golden Lions have stretched their lead to 35-0 with still a minute 21 left here in the first half as he gives for a 25-yard touchdown reception from R.J. George and then a 48-yard punt return for a touchdown on the Quan Hall punt. And Richard Wright's kick is taken short at the 10 by number 21, Justice Patterson, and he's up across the 30-yard line to about the 35.
Glad you were able to see that kickoff was by Richard Wright because I was a little flabbergasted. That just didn't look like Luke's kicks, and there's a good reason for that because it was Richard's kick. And I've got great confidence that Richard's going to be fine next year. He just doesn't quite have the leg strength that Luke has right now.
And not many people do. Right now it's Draughn with a deep hole, and they got a 1st and 10 from their own 35, and Lambert hands off to Estep, who's got a good pickup on 1st down. He's going to be tackled by Clemens and Allen.
He runs hard.
For Shelby, but he picks
really
up 7.
He runs hard, and it's pretty obvious. What Draughn needs to do is they need to run the fullback, they need to run the counter play. Pretty much everything else they've done except for the fullback and the counter play has been disastrous. I mean, not bad, I mean disastrous. I mean, they've gone back to pass, they've thrown interception, they've gone back to pass, they've been sacked, they've tried to pitch it on the option, we've recovered it. And so,
Well, here's kind of a counter to the fullback, and Estep's got huge yardage into Shelby territories. He goes from, the 42-yard line, the 42 of Draughn all the way to the 42 of Shelby. So that's 16 yards and a 1st down. Draughn. Crest leads Burns 21-14.
East leads RS 14-7. RS just had a 65-yard touchdown pass with 1:51 left in the half. So the Rutherford County battle well underway.
Pitch to Morton, and as you said, anything but those 2 plays are disastrous as he's going to be hit for a huge loss. Just how much is it going to be? It's about an 8-yard loss. It's about a 7-yard loss. He went to the right side, and a diving Chad Reed was going to hit him for about a 6-yard loss, but he bounced off Reed, reversed field, came all the way to the other sideline before Rashawn Petty took him down for a 6-yard loss, and that's going to take it to the end of the half. And we'll be back after 3 minutes for the doctors Doug Stroud, Jim Wilson, and Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show, and we'll be back right after this message.
Since 1947, Harris Funeral Home has been serving the citizens in Kings Mountain and Cleveland and Gaston counties. They take this time to salute the local sports programs and they take pride in their community. For your pre-arrangement needs, call Harris Funeral Home and talk with Ronnie Hawkins, James Eric Wright, or Bradley Ellis. They'll be more than happy to sit down and help you with your needs. Just call 704-739-2591 for Harris Funeral Home, located at 108 South Piedmont Avenue in Kings Mountain.
Where are you eating breakfast today? Have you tried the Hub Cafe located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy? The Hub opens at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. on Saturday, serving an old-fashioned country breakfast at affordable prices. You'll find homemade biscuits, bacon, country sausage, country ham, liver mush, eggs, omelets, all cooked to order on the grill. Call 487-0511 or come on into the Hub Cafe for a delicious country breakfast located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street, Shelby.
Your number one choice for drain service in Cleveland County is Drain Cleaners of Shelby. From slow to clogged drains, to sewer odors, to moving or installing a drain, or even adding a drain, see Drain Cleaners of Shelby. With state-of-the-art inspection cameras, locating equipment, and high-pressure jetters. From residential to commercial, just call 1-800-440-CLOG for a free estimate. They'll make sure your drains are actually draining. That's Drain Cleaners of Shelby.
The pre-holiday sales event is underway at Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia. Hey, you can even lay away for Christmas. Pick up this week's What's Up Shopper. Check out the great deals. From the 2013 Yamaha Star to the 2013 Polaris Ranger 500 Crew. Ask about special financing available. Apply today, ride today. Good credit, bad credit, or no credit. Come on in and see what Full Throttle Power Sports can do for you. Full Throttle Power Sports, exit 22 off I-85 in Gastonia.
Jam & Jay's Pizza Factory is Shelby's home for family food and fun. Jam & Jay's features a pizza buffet with salad bar, plus there's a game room. Adult buffet is just $5.99. This price good all day, every day, no coupon needed. Buffet for ages 4 through 10, just $3.09, and ages 3 and under, free. Call for information on birthday parties at 704-600-6182. So come on in, locally owned and operated, Jam & Jay's Pizza Factory, 1011 Grove Street, behind the Golden Corral in Shelby. New owner, new attitude. That's Forest City Honda, voted the best new car dealer in Rutherford County for the second straight year. And Forest City Honda's Greg Huntley has been named the best car salesperson for the second straight year. Plus, the Honda Dealers of the Carolinas has named the Forest City Honda Service Department the best in the Carolinas by a vote of its customers. Forest City Honda, ready to serve you with the best cars, best service, and the best salespeople. Forest City Honda, Daniel Road, Forest City.
The leaves are falling, and so are the prices at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby. Now is the time to hurry into S&R Auto Sales in Shelby for great fall savings. And down payments start as little as $699. Pick up this week's What's Up Shopper for their selection or visit their website at srautosales.com. And be sure to play their sports trivia question of the week. The leaves are falling, and so are the prices at S&R Auto Sales in Shelby, your buy here, pay here headquarters, and the home of the satisfied customer.
Year-round fun begins at the Bargain Station brand name outlet on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Keep cool with baubles. Bauble in sets are just $6.99 and complete bottle sets are $9.95. You'll find luggage and bags, sporting equipment including golf clubs, grills for cooking, and much more. All at big savings to you. The Bargain Station name brand outlet, 4400 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right next to Honda Motorcycles. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, Saturdays, 9 till 2.
Welcome to the Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show here at Draughn High School, where it's the Shelby Golden Lions 35, Draughn Wildcats 0, and it was a first half full of highlights for the Shelby offense and defense as the Golden Lions force 4 turnovers as well as put 5 offensive touchdowns on the board. And Coach Jeff Jones, if you're ready, we'll do the Okies Tire game summary, and then I'll go into the the stat sheet.
Okay, the scoring was started off early with 9:25 left in the first quarter. Reed had a 57-yard pass from R.J. George. Chad Reed, 57-yard pass from R.J. George. Hyatt's extra point made it 7-0. With 2:52 left in the first quarter, Ushery had a 1-yard run, and Hyatt's extra point made it 14-0. In the second quarter, with 11:53 left in the first half, Jolly had a 26-yard pass from George. Hyatt's extra point made it 21-0. With 2:40 left in the first half, Antoine Wright had a 25-yard touchdown pass from George. Hyatt's extra point made it 28-0. And the scoring came to an end for the first half with 1:21 left, with Antoine Wright, after he dribbled the punt return, he actually, the ball hit him and he bounced off the ground. He kind of knocked it down, picked it up, and ran it back 48 yards for the touchdown. Hyatt's extra point made it 35-0. And so Golden Lions lead 35-0. Golden Lions have 12 first downs to Draughn 6. And again, the thing we talked about, turnovers and penalties, Golden Lions actually ahead on both of those. And it's been a good night so far.
Has been Shelby with a big lead. 3 touchdown passes from R.J. George, I heard, as well as a punt return touchdown and a running touchdown. So I'm going to go straight in from that into the Chris McDaniel All-State Insurance stat sheet. We'll start with the home team, Draughn Wildcats. They were led on the ground by fullback Adam Eastep, 14 carries for 85 yards. Next leading rusher was Dominique Patterson with 4 carries for 13 yards. Gavin Morton had 6 carries for 12 yards. And unfortunately, Coy Lambert had 3 carries for minus 28 yards and lost 2 fumbles. So 82 yards on the ground on 27 carries. Lambert was 0 for 2 in the air with an interception. So just 82 total yards for Draughn in the first half. For Shelby, they were led on the ground by R.J. George, the quarterback, 5 carries, 34 yards. Buck Ussery chipped in with 5 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown. Chad Reed had 2 carries for 17 yards. Jaquavis Brooks, 1 carry for 5 yards. Raekwon Washington, 1 carry for 3 yards. Shelby with 84 yards on 14 carries. R.J. George in the air was 10 for 18 for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver catch-wise was Antoine Wright with 3 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Chad Reed had 2 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. Ralph Jolly had 2 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. And then 1 catch each for Buck Ussery for 4 yards, Raekwon Washington for 3 yards, and Jaquavis Brooks for no gain. So Shelby with 84 on the ground, 158 in the air. And that's a total of... if my math is right, 243 yards or 242 yards in the first half to 82 for Draughn. So big difference in yardage, big difference in first downs, big difference on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard for the Golden Lions.
Well, it's in some ways it's everything that you wanted, and in other ways, I guess we're just a little bit spoiled because. It's a 35-0 lead, and the Golden Lions are up on turnovers, up on penalties, and at the same time, you get a little bit upset that the big fullback's got as many yards as he does, and that's just me being silly. And so really nice 35-0 halftime lead right now for the Golden Lions.
And I look at it and I say, we got a 35-0 lead, and for all intent and purposes, our first string and second string running back have not even played. They've each had 1 carry and 1 catch, and so it's been the third and fourth string guys, Buck Ussery and Chad Reed, that have had to carry the load, and Shelby hasn't really missed a beat with either of those guys. As Ussery scored a touchdown, Reed's caught a touchdown pass, and Shelby has scored on all but 1 possession tonight.
And another thing is, I think the thing that's kind of taken the edge off a couple of things is that Shelby's been in a lot of 3rd and longs, and it kind of makes you get a little bit upset that they've been in so many 3rd and longs. But then let's turn it around. How many times have they got the yardage on 3rd and long? I mean, there's only been Golden Lions have punted
once.
And they didn't get a third down one time and went for it on fourth down and weren't able to make that. But I mean, so we've had the ball. We've had the ball now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had it 6 times, and we've had 4 touchdowns, a punt, and turned it over on downs. And so it's a really workmanlike night for the Golden Lions, and there's been lots of highlights in the midst of it all.
Yeah, and you can even go back to the punt. They fumbled the punt and we recovered it. So we converted a 3rd and 17 on the first series. We converted a 3rd and 11 on our second series. Let's see what else we converted. A 3rd and 10 on our next series we converted. 3rd and 13 we came up short, so that was a non-conversion. And that's it. So we've had 3 3rd and longs over 10 yards when converted. 3 of them into first downs. 1 of them was actually a touchdown play. So Shelby's been really good on 3rd and long, and that's something that Draughn's coaching staff is probably driving them crazy right now is giving up those plays.
Yeah, because they got to feel like they've run the fullback, they've run the counter play, they've got some good yardage. They've got the Golden Lions in these 3rd and long situations, but then they've been able to do absolutely nothing with it once they get them into that.
Yeah, and I'd say the one concern other than that I've had is what's wrong with Raekwon Washington. He did go out of the game and didn't return. So is that a precautionary measure with a big lead, or is it something we need to be concerned about with the playoffs looming here in a couple of weeks?
Well, that's true, and Raekwon, has in the last 3 or 4 ball games, he hasn't been a major part of those because of nagging injuries. He's had some stomach issues, and so what you hope is that when the playoffs do roll around, you get 100% Raekwon Washington, and goodness gracious, then the question just becomes, are there enough footballs to go around? Speaking of that, one of the things that I'm really impressed with the Golden Lions is that they don't seem to have any selfishness on that team. The split ends do a great job blocking for each other, and I haven't heard anything from anybody about there being any kind of conflict about I'm not getting enough runs, I'm not getting enough passes, and that speaks very well for the young men on the team and for the coaches as well.
I was at Supper Club a couple of weeks ago with Raekwon Washington and Jaquavis Brooks, and these are 2 guys that share carries, and they didn't seem to care who got the yards. Matter of fact, their little brothers play for the middle school team that won the championship game and finished off an undefeated season this past week, and those guys are doing the same thing at the middle school, just scoring touchdowns right and left. And Antoine Wright, I had him a couple weeks ago, and instead of bragging about how many touchdowns they had, they were bragging about how many blocks that they had made to spring the other guys for touchdowns. So big unselfishness and team play, and Coach Ware will tell you it's been a real fun time coaching this group. And speaking of Steve Degree and Shelby Middle School, Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about that game, that big championship game victory over RS Central this week?
Well, I just want to thank everybody who came out to watch the Blue Devils play. Got a chance to coach some great young men. I helped with the offensive line this year. Our offensive line did a great job. Coach Weiss calls a great game. He'll look and see where the weak spot is, and we attacked it. And RS Central, Coach Cheeks got a great bunch of kids coming up because RS Central played us tough 2 ball games. But I just think that our stamina and our speed was the key of the game. I know we ain't got much time, but what really touched me was the kid Ethan Martin, who's the 8th grade at Shelby Middle School. He has brain cancer. His parents brought him to the game and brought him out to the 50-yard line. He was our honorary captain, and we presented him the game ball. And once the captain, Dax Hollifield, gave him the ball, the young man dropped the ball, so they had to hold it for him, and it wasn't a dry face in the place. I mean, that was real touchy. So whoever was responsible for that, Mr. Quaterbaum or Coach Weiss or whoever, that would show the great character of the Shelby Middle School. We tried to take the focus off the game and put it on Ethan. So Ethan, if y'all parents are listening, and if you want to donate something to Ethan, we try to raise money for his medical expenses. So I'm sure you could call the Shelby Middle School and tell them that you wanted to donate some money to the Ethan Horton Cancer Fund, and they'll tell you how to do it. So our kids just bought into what we was doing this year. They came out and worked out in May. They came out, some of them came every single day, and we just started building from there, getting momentum. And one thing I was telling Brent, We played the whole year and never punted one time. And that shows you how those young guys really, really wanted to win.
Well, it's a heck of a season and an undefeated championship for Shelby Middle School. Congratulations. Steve, you got any local scores you want to give us before we take this one last break?
Okay, Sid Bryson Stadium. It's the Crest Chargers 21, Burns 14. We got Cherryville 20, Community School of Davidson 0. We got East Lincoln 28, Maiden 0. We got Bandage 31, West Lincoln 7. We got Lincolnton 20, West Caldwell 6. We got East Rutherford 17, RS Central 14. We got East Burke 8, Chase 8. We got South Point 28, North Gaston 0. They said that on the first 5 plays, South Point had 231 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on the first 5 plays. So then we have Ashbrook 21, Lake Norman Charter 0. Then we got Mooresville 17 and South Iredale 0.
All right. Big interest from me is that East Lincoln score. East Lincoln had to forfeit 3 games. Their records dropped to 5-4 instead of 8-1. And somebody's not going to want to play them real early in the playoffs. And Maiden might be one of those teams that doesn't, as they're getting beaten pretty soundly. And Maiden's had a pretty good season as well. So another one is that game over at Sid Bryson Stadium. We'll have to keep an eye on that one too, Steve, is if Crest can pull that one out and Shelby pulls this one out, then Shelby can play for a share of the conference championship next week.
Yeah, they said Crest is running the ball on Burns pretty good, which that really surprised me on that front foot of Burns, but they said the Crest is running it on them, so.
We'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a 1-minute break and come back for the Jam and Jay's Pizza Factory kickoff of the second half. Well, Shelby will be kicking off to Draughn. Here it's Shelby 35, Draughn 0, and we'll be back in 1 minute.
Your Yoda wood stove dealer is Future Energy Company in Shelby. Come on in now and see how you can save $1,000 on a new Yoda wood stove. And be sure to ask about the Yodel limited lifetime warranty. And one easy air control lever will operate the entire stove. Come on in and see the big selection of Yodel wood stoves on display at Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street in Shelby. Visit the website at futureenergyco.com for more information on the full line of Yodel wood stoves. Take 36% off. That's right, 36% off during the Samsung bestsellers at your nearest Hendrick Appliance location, including Samsung washers, dryers, and refrigerators. Plus, take 20% off Samsung's best-selling ranges and ovens. It's a red, white, and blue savings sale going on right now at your nearest Hendrick Appliance, 2689 East Main Street in Boger City, 4027 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, and 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Back to Wildcat Stadium here at Draughn High School. And that last segment is going to conclude our Dr. Doug Stroud, Dr. Jim Wilson, and Dr. Craig Thompson Family Dental Care halftime show here at Draughn. It's Shelby 35, Draughn 0, and Shelby will kick off to start the second half. It'll be Luke Hayek doing the duties, and he'll be kicking off from our left to right. And for the first half, Coach, Shelby, big plays on defense, 4 turnovers forced, big plays on offense, 3 long touchdown passes, and a short touchdown run, and special teams, a punt return for a touchdown, and what seems to be great field position all day for Shelby. And so doing it in all 3 phases of the game tonight. And Hayek puts a big foot into this one. It's going to be a little bit low, though, taking it about the 4. And good coverage by Shelby as they're going to take Patterson down right at the 20. And I'll tell you, the Ridges kid, who got a late start to the season as he transferred in from Richmond, he's had a great special teams season. He hasn't played much on offense, but, man, he's had a lot of tackles.
That's true. We've called his name out several times, and he's starting to get a little more playing time as the season goes on. What we want to see from the Golden Lions here in the second half is a 35-0 lead. Be smart with the football. Again, keep from having the silly penalties, and just hang on to the lead and play hard.
1st and 10 from the 19, and it's E-step met by Malik McDaniel. who's getting some action at the linebacker spot. And he gets about 3, maybe 4 on first down.
Again, the last 2 plays that he's run the ball, they've actually reversed out and given it to him a little bit similar to what we used to call the belly play back when Shelby ran the wing series along with the triple option. And they're not G blocking it. They're just trying to turn out on the defensive end, but they've had some nice success with that play. Here comes the counter. And
the ball's on the ground as Patterson picks it back up, and then Tyrone Allen hits him pretty hard. And because of the drop by Patterson, I think he's not going to get a gain, maybe even lost a yard on the play.
Well, because of the drop, and Golden Lions just handled that one a lot better. We had a couple of guys coming from the backside trailing those pulling guard and tackle, and had to do a nice job at the point of attack as well. So there wasn't that big hole that they've had a few other times. So much better job by the Golden Lions that time.
3rd and 7, and Estep gives it to Gavin Morton, who is clotheslined by Clay Husky. No penalty flag. And Clay was all over that play.
Yeah, it's like apparently we had scouted that one up because what happened at the last second, we walked Gary on up on the right side. Clay was on the left side, and they both stunted in hard, and it was almost like meet me at the quarterback. We're going to grab people and throw people down, and one of them's going to have the football.
Well, Morton lost 4, so after a 4-yard gain on first down, Patterson loses a yard, Morton loses 4 yards, and it's a 4th and 11. And Hall's going to kick it off to Antoine Wright, and I think the ball hits a Shelby player. And Draughn says they've got it. Let's see who they get. They say no, it doesn't touch a Shelby player, and Shelby will keep the ball.
Antoine definitely thought it might have because he was going at it, trying to get to it because he was afraid that it had been touched. Both times now the punt's been just kind of short, and as a Shelby, it's not like Shelby's doing anything particularly wrong. They're trying to block, and the ball's just not gotten deep enough. And we almost had 2 times now that the ball hit off a Shelby blocker.
R.J. George leading the brigade out for this second half possession. There's 9:53 to go here in the third quarter. Shelby 35-0. And Shelby's got the starting unit in, except that's Kylon Ross, and they're going to Kylon over the middle, but overshot by RJ as Kylon was running with some space. But it falls, it's actually over his head where nobody can catch it. 2nd and 10, Shelby.
And again, that's a good throw in that, Kylon's going to catch it or nobody's going to catch it. And, that all night long you get the feeling that RJ's not been quite as in sync as he had been a little bit earlier this year.
2nd and 10, and George throws it to Gillette on the sideline, and Gillette's going to get very little, if anything.
Nice catch that time by Gillette. Ball was a little bit high, and he went up high to get it, but again, nothing to be gotten after the catch. And so once again, Brent, here we are in 3rd and long. Now it's not 3rd and 17, not 3rd and 20, but again, it's a 3rd and long, so it's 3rd and 9, and the Golden Lions are in the empty set again.
Gallette's first catch, and this might be a screen to Jaquavius Brooks, and he's got all day to throw to R.J. George, and now the pass rush comes, and he finally throws it. Almost caught by Kylon Ross. There was 5 Shelby receivers out, and I bet he had 7-8 seconds to throw that time and never found a guy until it was a little bit too late. Falls incomplete. Good defensive series by Draughn. Even though they weren't able to get pressure, they were able to have some good coverage downfield.
It was good coverage, and Golden Lions go 3 and out. Richard Wright in to punt.
And Wright gets it off the side of his foot over here towards the sideline of Draughn, and it's going to have to be down by DeMonte Poole, and that's going to be about a 10-yard punt.
About a 7-yard punt.
7-yard punt, and Draughn takes over at their own 46. So Wright probably got a little bit of jitters. That's I think it's only his 2nd punt of the year for him. The first one got blocked a few weeks ago in a blowout win, and so Draughn takes over in good shape. Lambert hands off to Estep, who plows his way for about 5.
Adam Estep up the middle.
That time I think it was Robert Brown on the tackle.
Yep, Robert's getting up off the bottom of that, and again, what the old-fashioned 13 read that we used to run, and get him with about two good steps, and it's hard to bring him down. And I've said that before, so it's going to be second and a short 5, a short 6, a long 5. It's a nice gain.
And second down, probably going to see the same play. This time Lambert keeps it, pitches it to Patterson, and why, oh why, as Robert Brown and Michael Marable are there to hit him for a loss.
It does make one wonder. If you keep it between the tackles, you've had good yardage, and anytime it's gotten outside the tackle, it has been rough sledding for the Draughn Wildcats. And
well, Patterson's carried 6 times, and he's lost yards on 4 of those carries. And then Morton's lost yards on 2 carries and had 2 0 carries out of his 7. So 4 out of his 7 and 4 out of Patterson's 6. This time Morton, though, gets maybe enough for the first down. So he says, take that.
Well, and the difference is when he's running up inside the tackles. Again, that's that counter play that he cuts up on the off tackle hole, and it's been working, and it did that time. It's just a completely different looking situation. When they try to get that thing outside the tackles, it's awful, but as long as they stay between the tackles, they're having some success. So that is a first down for the Draughn Wildcats.
Morton picks up 8, and it's Estep, and Estep couldn't really get his feet going as Shelby got good penetration. He's going to pick up a couple before Rashawn Petty takes him down.
That was one of those strange-looking plays that Rashawn was like on top of him, and he had a helmet in his belly, and he was trying to force the guy down to the ground, but it did pick up a good 2 yards, maybe almost 3 yards. And so is Estep getting close to 100 yards? I mean, I imagine most of the yardage has been by him.
He had 85 at halftime. He's got 11, so he's got 96 on the game. And he's going to get the call here, and he goes over 100 as he gets 6 on that carry.
It's going to be third down and very, very short now.
Yeah, maybe even get 7 on that play.
So third down and 1.
3rd and 1. So Estep with 103 on the night. And like you said, he actually had 1 yard more than they had total offense because all the other guys lost yards between them. And this time it's Patterson again, wide, but he actually gets a few yards. He's down to the 30. He's going to get the first down. Picks up about 3.
Clock stopped. I'm not sure. It stopped for the first down, so it is first down now. Ball down to the 30-yard line. I guess this is we're looking at one of the best drives of the night for Draughn. We're down to almost 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Golden Lions have run 3 plays on offense in the whole third quarter.
And on first down, let's see who got that. Was that Estep?
That's Estep, but again, the difference is we hit him about 1 yard in the backfield and just nowhere for him to go. And so he's going to end up losing about 1 yard. Really nice job that time by Michael Marble was in the backfield and making that hit. And he's kind of walking around holding his side right now because I think after he made the hit, he got stepped on. That's one of the things when you're trying to tackle a big running back, you get kind of tired of getting hit because the guy's coming downhill at you.
Well, here's that counter play to Patterson, and he gets outside the tackles before Robert Brown makes a tackle. Malik McDaniel got the first hit in, but Patterson gets some good yardage after the loss on first down. He picks up about 7.
Yeah, and that's one of those strange plays that he actually did get outside that time. And so after all that preaching I did about staying inside the tackles, he finally went outside and got some yardage. So third down and 4. Is that, again, we're in that area of the field. It's kind of hard for us to see exactly what the line is to make.
And Lambert's going to give it to Patterson. And Patterson's going to be just shy of the first down, I think. But it's going to be like 4th and maybe a yard.
No doubt that they'll be going for it.
Tommy's over the left side, kind of in between the guard and tackle.
And that's where they've had some success here in the second half. They seem to be doing better going to the left than to the right. So it's going to be 4th down and short. We're down inside, closing in on 4 minutes left in the third quarter now. Draughn looking at 4th and short, and I'm sure the Golden Lions are going to try to get some penetration. It'll be interesting to see if Draughn tries to draw them off sides.
They got to get about to the 20, and E-Step on second effort does just that and needed about a yard and a half and got about 2.5.
And so the drive will continue. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Draughn with definitely their best drive of the night. 3 straight first downs, all on the ground. And down inside the 20-yard line now to the Golden Lion 19.
And after Draughn and Shelby both traded 3 and outs, Drawn's basically chewed up about 6 minutes on this drive. And it's Patterson, and he's got good yardage over the left side again. Rashawn Petty takes him down after a gain of 8.
Again, they are starting to see something with the counter back to the left side. Draughn, you get a little, you can see a little bit of little spring in their step now as they're down, inside the red zone for the first time all night. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the third quarter. Draughn 2nd down and short. Be interested to see if they try to do something silly or if they're just going to keep pounding it.
2nd and 2. E-Step, this time hit by Gary and Addison right at the line of scrimmage. But they're going to say forward progress, close to first down yardage.
Still not quite enough, so it's going to be 3rd and very short as the clock now gets under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. A couple of substitutions coming in for the Golden Lions. Number 33, Malik McDaniel, back in. Malik's been getting a lot more playing time, as Brent mentioned a little bit earlier.
And
2 people in motion. That's a penalty.
Comes out late. It was a 3rd and 1 play as E-Step got 1 on the previous play. And
that's
unfortunately it's going to back them up.
First penalty of the second half. 5-yard penalty on Draughn.
Try to get you a Crest and Burn score as soon as we can, but that 3rd and 1 is now going to be a 3rd and 6 for Draughn. Makes things a little bit different. Although it could just be E-Step twice. As it is just 3rd down. And E-Step is in there with Morton and Patterson. And Drawn's got a tight lineup here, and it's a pitch out to Morton, and he slips the first tackler, who actually makes the tackle. Chad Reed had him in the backfield, missed him. Morton ended up sprinting inside the 5 for a first down, and Reed got him from behind. He's down at the 4.
So made me wrong that time. When they tossed that thing outside, I thought we were going to lose 4 yards, but he did a really nice job. And so now they're down to 1st and goal, closing in on 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Gain of 11.
Can't really tell where that is. What is it, just inside the 5?
It's about at the 4, 4.5. And it's going to be Patterson, and he's going to pick his way right to the goal line. No signal yet. And he's not down yet. And they're going to say just shy. He's to the 1, gain of 3.
Again, that counter play back to the left side. Hayden Hojackney's walking around with the ball in his hand. He's wishing that they would give him possession, but they're not going to. It's going to be 2nd and goal down inside the 5. Looks like it's not quite as far in there as we thought it was. It's going to be at about the 1.5 or 2 yard line.
All right, so it didn't get quite as close. So the forward progress was stopped short. Gain of 2. 2nd and goal from the 2 now.
And
it's Morton, and safe to say nowhere to go there.
That counter play to the right's just not quite as good as the counter play to the left, and he's going to lose. Oh my goodness, they're going to say he only lost 2 yards. Okay, so the ball's going to be down at the 4-yard line. Looks like it should more like the 6 or 7, but at this point, 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Not gonna complain too much about spots right now.
This could be the last play of the third quarter. There's 30 seconds left. Shelby still up 35-0. Draughn threatening here, 3rd and goal from the 4. And it's a pass play, touchdown. As Lambert goes to 17, Alex Monroe, and surprises the Golden Lions with a touchdown pass. The first completion of the evening. And Draughn's on the scoreboard with 20.9 seconds left here in the third quarter. How about that one?
I thought it was going to be picked off there for a while.
Well, that's just the first complete pass of the game for Draughn. Monroe gets it, and it's a touchdown. Extra point is up. Extra point is wide left, and Shelby leads 35-6. And we'll take a break and be back with the Jam & J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
All right. Back to Draughn High School, and the Wildcats finally get some points on the board. They trail the Golden Lions 35-6. It was a 4-yard touchdown pass from Lambert to Monroe with 20 seconds left here in the third quarter, and now Sagan is in for the kickoff. Let's see if he does an onside variety or if he boots it downfield. And it's an onside kick, and it's a good one. But I believe that's Luke Etchison for Shelby falls on it. Or no, 81. Deshaun Surratt falls on it for the Golden Lions. So great kick. But Surratt did a great job of falling on it. And Shelby will take over at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, you can't ask for much better field position. Going to be 19.3 seconds left in the third quarter. Of course, Shelby got the ball last time on their 47-yard line and weren't able to do anything with it. So hopefully we'll be a little more efficient with the football.
Well, quarterback is still R.J. George, as that touchdown made it a little tighter. And on first down, Chad Reed gets the call, and he's around the left side, and he's spinning and going forward. He gets good yardage, about 6 or 7 on first down, and Chad's got one of them extra gears.
Absolutely.
That not everybody has.
And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. So the 4th play run from scrimmage by the Golden Lions in the third quarter is going to be the last play of the third quarter.
And we'll take it. We'll be back in 30 seconds for the fourth quarter. Shelby leads 35-6 on the Medical Arts Pharmacy scoreboard.
Bundle it up. That's the way to save, and it's true with farm equipment too. That's why West End Sales in Vail has bundled up a 2013 35 horsepower diesel Coyote tractor with a loader and a 4-year warranty, plus a new equipment trailer and a new 6-foot box blade, all for $17,500, or get payments as low as $301 per month with 0 money down. See West End for all the details. West End Sales, Highway 18 274 intersection in Vail. Or for more information, go to westendsales.com.
Draughn High School, start of the fourth quarter. Shelby leads 35-6. Shelby with a 2nd and 3 from the Draughn 46-yard line. It's Chase 21, Eastbrook 8, Lincolnton 27-6 over West Caldwell. East Lincoln leads 35-0 over Maiden. South Point 28-0 over North Gaston. We'll get you some more scores in just a minute. R.J. George in the shotgun. He hands it off to Chad Reed over the right side. Chad to the sidelines, and he turns it upfield. He's got first down yardage. Oh, they say he stepped out of bounds. He was going to maybe score on that play.
Yeah, that was that could have gone all the way, but it was probably a good call.
Well, he hit the sidelines, stepped out of bounds at the 39. Good news is it's a gain of 7 and a Pegram Insurance first down, and that's the second straight 7-yard pickup for Reed. He's now got 4 carries on the night for 31 yards. Just about an 8-yard per carry average. Not bad. First and 10 Shelby from the Draughn 39. Shelby with 2 men in the backfield. This is Usry and Reed, and RJ's looking up top, and he's got a guy deep, but that's Ralph Jolly. Touchdown, Shelby. And that play covers 39 yards, and that's the second touchdown of the game for Ralph Jolly. And the Golden Lions up 41-6, just 38 seconds into this fourth quarter. And again, it's the big play of the Golden Lion passing game as R.J. George goes for his 4th passing touchdown of the night.
A 47-second drive for the Golden Lions.
And Wright on for the extra point with Hayek to hold. And Wright's kick is good. Shelby 42, Draughn 6, back in 30 seconds.
Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit would like to take this time to remind everyone that illegal drug use breaks hearts, homes, and lives. Please stay involved in your children's lives. Speak with your children about drug use and how it can destroy family dreams. Also, be sure your children and family members buckle up when they are in the car, and if the car is on, leave the phone alone.
The staff at TAC and CCT are glad to be celebrating our 25th year of service to Cleveland County.
Back to Draughn High School, the Golden Lions just taking a 42-6 lead with 11:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. Over in Bowling Springs, Crest 21, Burns 14, but Burns on the move, we understand. So we'll keep an ear on that game, as it is pretty important into our conference. And Wright's kickoff taken at the 6, and that's Dominique Patterson, and he's up across the 30 to the 34. Before he goes down, and Draughn will take over in decent field position. We talked earlier about records, and the single-season passing record established tonight by R.J. George of Shelby, and we just had another record broken as Ralph Jolly just set the single-season receiving record for Shelby, as he's gone over the 700-yard mark for the season with 745 yards. He breaks Antonio Odom's record of 692 yards set back in 2005, and he's closing in on Antonio's career receiving record of 1,235 yards. First down play for Draughn gets a couple. That's a new fullback, 44 Quan Hall, the guy that we've seen in there doing the punting.
He is huge. I mean, we talked about how big the other fullback was. This guy is about 50 pounds more. Can't be quite as nimble on his feet, but goodness gracious, he is a load. And you know that defensive line saying, oh, no, here comes another one.
2nd and 8. This time it's Morton, and he's running all over in circles, and he's going to get Siobhan Miller throwing him for a loss. He made what looked to be an incredible spin move to bounce to the outside, but his blocker didn't know he had done that.
That's true, and he blocked Siobhan right into him.
And unfortunately, what looked like it would have been a dynamic run for Morton turns into a 1-yard loss, and a nice tackle by Siobhan Miller.
We've got a couple of other players in now. Number 71, Elijah Sperling, is in at defensive tackle.
Justin Turner in at linebacker. 72. Karan Lathers in at defensive end.
And we've got a encroachment penalty on the Golden Lions. The first penalty of the second half. One of those youngsters lined up off sides, apparently. Of course, I shouldn't say that. It could have been Clay Husky or could have been one of the guys that's been in there all day long.
Buck Ussery in at a safety spot. And number 40, Delvin Mitchell in at a corner spot for Shelby. DeMonte Poole at the other corner. Morton in motion, handoff to Patterson, and he's bouncing outside. He's got blockers. Delvin Mitchell with the tackle, but not until Patterson gets the first down on a gain of 7.
Patterson is a shifty runner, and I saw him on film, and he looked pretty good. He's had difficulty when he gets outside, but the last 2 times against the Golden Lions, he has taken it outside and got some yardage, and so that is the 11th first down of the night for Draughn. Golden Lions safely ahead 42-6 and starting to play some of their other players right now.
1st and 10 at the Draughn 48, and everybody's offsides, and it's a false start. Wildcats backing it up to the 43-yard line. 1st and 15.
Number 91, Darius Clark in playing as well. Freshman Darius Clark. Doesn't exactly look quite like his brother, does he? He's just a little bit bigger than Spencer.
Spencer did have a nice height, though, about 6'5".
Darius is only 6'3", but he's carrying about 240 pounds with that 6'3".
Fullback gets the call, and that's Quan Hall, and he gets back maybe 2 yards that they lost.
And I think Clark was in on the tackle that time.
Actually, they're going to say Hall got 3 back, so it's going to be 2nd and 12.
Down to 8:40 left in the ball game.
Golden Lions still on top, 42-6.
Clay Husky getting a lot of play tonight. He's been in there a good deal tonight.
Yeah, Clay missed a couple of games with a concussion. It's a complete pass. This may go for a touchdown. Now on the slant, that's 85. Touchdown. Draughn Wildcats as they hit Shelby again, and that's Morgan Mazaleski. And that play covers, I don't know, I have to do the math.
Pass was thrown towards by number 11.
That was a 50-yard play. 50 yards to Mazaleski. And a touchdown. Wildcats, they've completed 2 passes, both for touchdowns. And they're going to go, looks like they're going to attempt a 2-point conversion as their last PAT attempt was missed. And they're going to pitch it out to Gavin Morton, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. And Draughn draws to within 42-14. The scoreboard's showing 44-12, which is wrong. But they'll get that fixed. 8:22 to go, 4th quarter. Back in 30 seconds for a kickoff.
Summertime fun can be ruined with a bad sunburn. Oh. Be prepared with a visit to the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. They have all the suntan protection products you need. And be sure to ask about the free vitamin plan for children from Falston Pharmacy. And for you Sundrop fans, Falston Pharmacy had 12-pack cans of Sundrop products for only $3.99. Buy 2 12-packs for $7 or get 3 12-packs for just $10 at the Falston Pharmacy. Use their convenient drive-through window located on Highway 18 North in Falston.
Draughn is not laying down and quitting. They're fighting. They stick it in the end zone from 50 yards out on a pass play from Lambert to Mazaleski, and then Gavin Morton's 2-point conversion run has cut the Shelby lead to 42-14. Still 8:22 left here in the 4th quarter. Let's see if Draughn does another onside kickoff. They do. And another good one. This one's recovered by Shelby's Caleb Jolly, though. Another good job of Shelby getting down on another good onside kick. And Shelby takes over at the 48.
So Shelby has had the ball only 3 times this entire second half. They started on their 47, had a 44-second drive that ended with a punt. They started on their 47, had a 47-second drive that ended with a touchdown. And so now they start on their 48.
And Shelby's got the second string in, Darquez Lee in at quarterback. And he's going to throw on first down to Jaden Borders, and he can't handle it. Draughn had coverage there. It should have been caught, but may have not gotten much had he caught it. But it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. Shelby's got 81, Deshaun Surratt in at one receiver spot. Caleb Jolly, excuse me, Luke Etchison and Caleb Jolly and Jaden Borders in. And it's Buck Ushery on the carry, and he's across midfield to the 45, 40, 35, 30. And he's out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. That's a pickup of 26.
And up front, the Golden Lions have Jake Appling at center, DeAndre Ross in on the offensive line, Sam Putnam in on the offensive line. Nick Pugh stays in on the offensive line, and help me get the 75. Chris Boykins still in at right guard. So that's the front, and a nice job blocking that time.
It's a 27-yard pickup as they give him the 25-yard line. I happen to know that he went out at about the 27, but the official was so far behind the play.
Oh, the scrum ends up with a fumble. Oh, my goodness. That was one of those plays that they just wouldn't blow the whistle, and ball comes out, and we're going to end up with a turnover.
So Ussery runs into the pile at the line of scrimmage at the 25, but it was basically 2 lines just pushing on each other, and they push Ussery forward 3 yards, but the whistle never blows to stop forward progress, and then they rip the ball out, and Shelby loses the fumble. So it's a 3-yard run for Ussery, but he lost the fumble. Shelby's first turnover of the game. And Draughn takes over at their own 23-yard line, and first play, flags are flying every which way as Eastep back in the game and just gets a couple. Well, let's see what the flag is.
Well, we've got a 31-yard field goal by Burns, and so it's 21-17. 10:58 left in that ball game.
Penalty is going to be on Draughn. So that 2-yard gain by Eastep is negated by a 5-yard penalty, and it's going to be 1st and 15, Draughn. So again, Shelby just can't seem to have a clean game all the way through. They get the turnover late here in the 4th quarter by the second stringers. And ball moves back to the 18, Draughn, 1st and 15. Lambert still in at quarterback. Patterson in motion, and the handoff. Actually, Lambert's rolling to his left, and he completes it to Eastep. And he's going to be tackled shy of the first down, but he gets back the lost yardage and a few more. So Eastep in the passing game now getting involved. And he's up to the Draughn 28-yard line. So he picks up 10. It's going to be 2nd and 5. And that's the 3rd straight completion for Lambert. He's now got 64 yards on the night through the air.
50 of them being on one pass.
Hand off to Morton, and he cuts back to the middle, and he's got yardage out to the 45, 50, driven out of bounds on the Shelby sideline. So here's Draughn on the drive again. Forced out just shy of midfield.
Of course, Draughn leaving in the majority of their first stringers. Golden Lions substituting quite liberally right now. And again, that counterplay has been effective has been effective for Draughn all night long against the first group or the second group.
Pickup of 20, and Lambert back to pass, and he's got a guy open on the sideline, complete, and still on his feet, but he fumbles. His number 1 picked up by Buck Ushery, and he's running down the sidelines, 50, 45, 40, leaps over a guy, 35, 30, leaps over another guy, 25, 20, 15, 10, and he steps out of bounds. So, crazy play. Pass was complete to Travis Cook. Cook had first down yardage with a pickup of about 11.
Could you tell who stripped that ball? Because he worked 22. He worked on it for a long time. And DeMonte Poole, number 22, he really that was almost the way you teach it. They were holding the receiver up, and he got his hands on that ball, and he was really ripping at it, and did come out. And then Buck Ushery says, well, this is the way it's meant to be, because Buck fumbled that ball down there a little bit earlier, and so he was able to pick up the fumble and made quite a return all the way back to the 9. So with 6:12 left, Golden Lions back in business here on the Draughn
9-yard line.
9-yard line, and Draughn takes a timeout.
Buck had blockers, did a hurdle over a Draughn player. Then one of his own guys went down. He hurdled his own player. And there's a timeout. Let's take it back in 30 seconds. There's 6:12 left. Shelby 42, Draughn 14.
Stamey Funeral Home, serving Cleveland and surrounding counties since 1900. Stamey Funeral Home is owned and operated by the Tysinger family, loving and caring licensed professionals. Our family is here for your family during one of the most difficult periods in life, planning, pre-planning, or pre-need counseling. We're here to listen, care, and help. That's what families are all about. Stamey Funeral Home, located in Boston. Our family serving your family.
$117, isn't it?
Shelby leads Draughn 42-14. And after the Travis Cook fumble and the 50-yard return by Buck Ushery, Shelby's got 1st and 10 at the Draughn 10, and Darquez lead back to pass. Low snap, and he's got to come up with it, and lots of pressure, and he has to get away as he's being driven down, and the pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Pretty nice job of getting that away, because it could have been about an 8-yard loss. Got hit so hard in the back, it could have been a fumble. He did a good job of being able to get that away. The snap was just a bit low.
2nd and goal from the 10 for Shelby. Lee in the ball game. Ushery the running back. Surratt etches in another snap that's mishandled, but he gets the pass off complete to Ushery, and Ushery's making guys miss, and he's inside the 5. And he's down and in the end zone. Touchdown, Ushery. What a play by Darquez Lee is. I actually think it was a good snap, but he mishandled it and dropped it. Had to pick it up and get rid of it. And then Ushery made a great mini moves as he it was a 10-yard play, but he had to go about 20 yards after the snafu for the touchdown, and there's flags all over the place after the touchdown. So we'll have to see just what happened there. But Ushery's first touchdown catch of the season, and Lee's first touchdown pass.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Draughn, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff. Darquez Lee in to hold this time for Richard Wright.
And Ushery's second touchdown of the night. He had a 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. And Wright in, and the kick's up, and the kick is through. Shelby 49, Draughn 14, back in 30 seconds for a Jamma J's Pizza Factory kickoff.
At McKinney Salinas Power Sports, service is a top priority. Their fully trained staff all ride the products they offer to ensure that you get the best service possible. They have an 18,000 square foot facility filled with a huge selection of motorcycles, four-wheelers, jet skis, and more. On the water, street, or off-road, they do it all. McKinney Salinas Power Sports is your officially licensed Suzuki, Honda, and Kawasaki dealer. 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard. Call 704-824-2787 or online at mscycles.com.
Back to Shelby High. Richard Wright, courtesy of an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Draughn after the touchdown, will be kicking off from the Draughn 45-yard line. Shelby leads 49-14 with 5:57 left here in the ball game. And Buck Ushery with a 10-yard touchdown reception from Darquez Lee has put Shelby up by 35. And let's see if Wright can sail this one into the end zone. He's only got to put 45 yards on it. And he does just that as he kicks it through the back of the end zone, and Draughn will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, trailing Shelby big.
Nice to get a lot of the players that hadn't been able to play a great deal this year. Nice to see them in there. Also nice to see them making plays. I mean, it's a lot of times you end up with guys that don't get to play very much, and they go in there and they give up big runs, they give up big passes. But in this case, the offense has moved the ball a bit. The defense has given up a big play, but then what looked like it was going to be a big play, then they ended up forcing the fumble and the big run back. And so it's been a good night overall for the Golden Lions.
It has, and it's Lambert at quarterback. Morton in motion, handoff to Hall. And Hall's gang tackled. Siobhan Miller's the last guy in there. I also see Darius Clark and Michael Marable. And he's going to get 2 or 3. Let's call it 3.
And he's going to have a little bit of ankle issue there. He's going to be hobbling off the field. It's going to be interesting to see who they bring in. Big number 33 is going to be back in.
So Hall's carried 3 times for 8 yards. Estep back in. He's over 100 for the night on 21 carries. 5:03 to go and ticking here in the ball game. And Lambert with Dominique Patterson in motion is going to hand it off to Morton, and he's got running room over the right side, and he's making some good cutback moves, and he's got first down yardage. He's up across the 30 to about the 33, so he picks up about 10 yards on the play, and it's a first down for Draughn. I'm dodging this. I got this pillar in front of me right where they were running. I had to keep looking left and right.
And doing a fine job.
I'm doing it again. 1st and 10. This time it's Morton in motion. Handoff to Estep, and he's tripped up. And that looks like Elijah Sperling is the one that kind of tripped him up at first, and then Michael Marable and number 40. And I don't, what's 40? 40 is Delvin Mitchell. They kind of finished him off. So Estep finally taken down for just a 1-yard gain. Well, they give him a couple. Let's call it 2.
Estep's got to be getting tired as well, because I was talking about he was kind of sending out some punishment. He's been taking it too.
And that's his 22nd carry of the night. And now a new ball carrier, and that's number 24. Ricky Williams. And Williams gets a couple on the 2nd down carry.
Didn't see any dreadlocks on this Ricky Williams, though. You hear Ricky Williams running the football, you kind of think about the former Texas. Did he win the Heisman Trophy or not? He did win the Heisman,
didn't he? Went to Texas. Yes. Played baseball as well, I believe. Earl Campbell-esque. 3rd and 6. It's Estep for first down yardage. Tackled by Malik McDaniel.
And what Draughn is about to do is they're about to catch up with the Golden Lions in first downs. I can tell you one other thing. They are way ahead of us in time of possession. We have had the ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have had the ball 10 times, and our longest possession has been 2 minutes. It's been amazing. And we've had the ball 4 times in the second half, and we've had it for 44 seconds, 47 seconds, 35 seconds, and 15 seconds.
Estep ran into the line and had nowhere to run. Bounced it out. Siobhan Miller came up full speed and hit him head on, and Estep bounced off that and got to the sidelines and ended up with about a 7-yard gain.
One more first down by Draughn, and they will have tied us on first downs. Fortunately, it's not about first downs. It's about the score, and so that is 49-14 Shelby.
Second and 3. Estep gets the call again. He's got first down, or just at first down yardage. I think he maybe picked up 3.5. Siobhan Miller's had a good night with his second unit. He's got 4 or 5 tackles here. And Estep picks up the first down, so they're doing just what you were afraid they would do. 25 carries for Estep tonight. You know, I watched the game the other night. I can't remember if it was Seattle or something, but they were so far down in time of possession in one, and it's a snap ground ball as Lambert was in the shotgun, and it rolls back to him, and he has to just jump on it for a loss. Unfortunately, it's a loss of 4.
We're down
it's not his fault, but he's going to get the yardage loss.
Down to 1:30 left in the ball game.
And the clock's ticking. A little surprised he hasn't tried to throw it once or twice here. Not that they're going to get back in the ball game, but he's thrown it pretty well when he has thrown it. I thought maybe they'd go back to it, maybe try to hit Mazaleski.
Interception.
Monroe. And now they do the trick play. And 21's going to throw it, but he decides, nope, I'm going to run it. So they hand off to Justice Patterson. He rolls to his right as if he's going to throw the halfback pass, but pulls it back in and gets about 5 yards.
Got an update from my good friend Chris Norman. An interception by Crest, who now has the ball at their 44-yard line. And 5 minutes to go in that football game. Crest still leading 21-17.
Well, keep an eye on that. Here we got 38 seconds left. 3rd and 10. And Lambert's putting it up, but now he's got heavy pressure. He's going to be sacked for about a 12-yard loss by Michael Marable.
Marable makes the sack and then reaches down, helps him up. And, Brent, that could be the last play of the game. There's 20 seconds left.
Yeah, they're not even going to start the play clock, so just it's all on Draughn. It's 4th down and 21, maybe 4th and 22. I think he lost 13 on that play.
It's like Draughn is trying to hustle back to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to have a hard time. Down 2-1, and that's going to be the ball game.
Let's take a 3-minute break. We'll be back with our conclusion and post-game show. Be back right after this.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby. Through the years, I've seen a lot of trophies and plaques, and none appear nicer than those which come from Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies. Their guarantee is not just a guarantee, but a promise for courteous service, the absolute lowest price, quality products, on-time delivery, and most of all, your satisfaction. Awards for all occasions, plus rubber stamps and engraving. That's Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby.
We all hear about how good the barbecue is in Lexington, Greensboro, and in eastern North Carolina. But here in Cleveland County, we all know that the best barbecue is here. At Alston Bridges Barbecue, Kent and Linda Bridges and their family make sure the staple of their restaurant is the best barbecue. Your choice, pork, beef, or chicken, plus delicious sides, such as slaw, beans, fries, and hush puppies. The best since Alston and Mabel opened in 1955. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
Yes, Cleveland County, you do have a train dealer. From Kings Mountain to Polkville, from Lawndale to Bellwood, from Falston to Earl, Roland Black Heating and Air will be there for you. They're only a phone call away at 704-865-1375. In minutes, a comfort specialist will be at your door for your heating or cooling needs. Yes, it's hard to stop a train. Again, call Roland Black Heating and Cooling at 704-865-1375. Your hometown train dealer for over 36 years.
When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Don't miss the grand opening specials at Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can get up to $15,000 equity assistance to get you right side up or lower your payments. That's right, $15,000. And during the Jeep Celebration event, check out our extensive inventory of new Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, and the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Now open 7 days a week for your convenience. Located at I-85 and exit 21 and online at GastoniaDodge.com.
Shelby Savings Bank.
It's just better here.
With local decisions,
Better.
flexibility, and knowing how to treat people.
It's just better. Better.
It's just better here.
We're here to help our neighbors do better.
It's just better here.
With our best deal mortgage guarantee.
It's just better. Better. Better.
Better here.
Great products.
It's just better here.
And 2 convenient locations.
It's just
better here.
Now more than ever, Shelby Savings Bank. It's just better here. Member FDIC.
Here's a special money-saving message from Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs. If you use petroleum products, you should consider a generic brand. Major brands charge premium rates covering national advertising and promotions. Good generic brand packages their own products and meets manufacturer specifications, and they can sell at a lower price because of lower overhead. Our generic brands include Wolfhead, Coastal, AutoGuard, and Lubriguard. Buy these brands and you cut your costs. See Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive, Patterson Springs.
Back to Draughn High School for the Future Energy Company Stadium postgame show. We'll wrap it up pretty quickly so we can maybe get you over to that Crescent Burns game conclusion. Here it was Shelby 49, Draughn 14, and Coach Jeff Jones is going to go over the Okies Tire game summary real quick.
Okay, started the game with Reed with a 57-yard pass from George with 9:25 left in the first quarter. Hike's point after touchdown made it 7-0 Shelby. 2:52 left in the first quarter. Ushery had a 1-yard run, and Hike's extra point made it 14-0 Shelby. With 11:53 left in the first half, Jolly had a 26-yard pass from George. Hike's extra point made it 21-0. And with 2:40 left in the first half, Wright had a 25-yard pass from George. Extra point made it 28-0 by Hayek. With 1:21 left in the half, Antoine Wright had a 48-yard punt return. Hayek's extra point made it 35-0, and so it was 35-0 at the end of the first half. Second half scoring with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Monroe had a 4-yard pass from Lambert. The extra point was wide left, so it's 35-6 Golden Lions. 11:22 left in the game. Jolly had a 39-yard pass from George. Richard Wright's extra point made it 42-6. With 8:22 left in the game, Mazaleski had a 50-yard pass from Lambert, and Morton had the 2-point conversion run, making the score 42-14. And then the scoring ended up with 5:57 left in the game. Ushery's 9-yard pass from Darquez Lee. Richard Wright's extra point made it 49-14. So the final was Shelby 49-14.
And we'll go right into the to the Chris McDaniel Allstate Insurance stat sheet. And
while you're doing that, Crest just intercepted the ball. There's only 2:25 left to go, and they had the ball at the Burns 28.
Wow. So we'll keep watch on that and maybe even get an update before we're through here. For Shelby, leading rusher tonight, Buck Usry, 7 carries, 55 yards, a touchdown. R.J. George, 5 carries, 34 yards. Chad Reed, 4 carries, 31 yards. Jaquavis Brooks, 1 carry, 5 yards. Raekwon Washington, 1 carry for 3 yards. R.J. George, 12 of 22 for 198 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Darquez Lee was 1 for 3 for 10 yards and a touchdown. So 5 touchdown passes for Shelby. Leading receiver tonight, Ralph Jolly, 3 catches, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chad Reed, 2 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Antoine Wright, 3 catches, 48 yards and a touchdown. Buck Usry, 2 catches, 14 yards and a touchdown. Michael Gillette had 1 catch for 1 yard. One catch for 3 yards for Raekwon Washington, 1 catch for 0 yards for Jaquavis Brooks. So Shelby with 208 in the air tonight. Leading rusher for Draughn was Adam Estep, 25 carries, 127 yards. Morton had 54 yards. Patterson, 41 yards. Quan Hall, 8 yards. Justice Patterson, 5 yards. Ricky Williams, 2 yards. Lambert lost 45 yards on 5 sacks. So 192 yards rushing on 60 carries for Draughn. And then Lambert was 4 of 6 for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mazaleski had a 50-yard touchdown catch. Monroe had a 4-yard touchdown catch. Cook had an 11-yard catch, and Estep had a 10-yard catch. So that's your stat sheet, and we'll go right to the players of the game. And we'll start with our special teams player of the game, sponsored by Enloe Mortuary.
Well, Antoine Wright, with his electrifying dribble the ball on the catch and pick it up and make about 16 people miss going down the sideline. So we felt that Antoine Wright was highly deserving of the special teams player of the week.
Then we'll go to our defensive player of the game, and that is sponsored by the J. Morgan Company.
We felt like we called Tyrone Allen's name quite a bit tonight. There were so many golden lions that we could have given that award to, because we just had the defense really came to play, and we gave up some yardage, but it wasn't until we got the second group in that we actually gave up any points. And so we thought that Tyrone Allen was highly deserving of the J. Morgan Company defensive player.
Offensive player of the game sponsored by Carolina Energies.
Well, we came out here in the first play. Raekwon Washington went out. In the second play, it seemed like we ended up losing. I'm having a mental break. Yeah, Jaquavis Brooks. We don't want to forget his name. And then Buck Usry came in and had a great night. He had over 50-some yards rushing, had some good receiving yards, scored some touchdowns. And so we thought that Buck Usry was highly deserving of the offensive player of the game.
And our SNR Auto Sales overall player of the game, guess who?
Well, Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected. Now, he did not have his, it didn't seem to be quite as awesome a game overall, but R.J. George just made good decisions all night long. He was a victim of about 3 drop passes, and just the way he held the team together and the decisions that he made, we just felt that he was the player of the game.
And he had 198 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, added another 34 yards rushing. Another stellar performance by R.J. George on a night where he became Shelby High's single-season passing record holder as he goes over 2,200 yards on the year. So congratulations to R.J. Of course, a night also where Ralph Jolly set the single-season receiving record for the Gold Lions, going over 745 yards on the season. So congratulations to both of those young men.
And just to give you an idea, I mean, for several years now, we've gone to more of a passing offense. And so, for the last several years, when you said that, we've set a passing record for the year, 8 games into it, well, that wasn't really surprising. But, now that we've actually been in this, more of a pass-heavy offense, we've just set a record for a season record for passing and receiving, and we just finished the 10th ball game. And those records were set, and game 14, game 15. And so this offense has been quite prolific. And you can tell when we said, well, RJ only threw for 200 yards. I mean, did you ever think you'd say Shelby's a little bit disappointed because they only threw for 200 yards?
Well, here's the funny part. Coming into this season, there was that's rushing. Passing yardage, single game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There was only 14 ever games over 200 yards passing. In the history of Shelby High, RJ's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this year. That's why I said he only went for 198.
Only went for 198.
So
those of y'all that are worrying about the Crest game, it looks like Crest is trying to milk the clock now. They've got the ball down inside the Burns 10. Burns is using up all their timeouts now, and so it looks like we may get to see next week a battle, not only a county rivalry, not only the first time I think that ever there has been a situation where Crest and Shelby are going to play with dormant brown grass, because that's always been an early season game, but we could be playing Crest playing for the conference championship outright, and Shelby playing to make it a three-way tie for the conference championship. You can't get much better than that.
Well, we're going to leave this broadcast and hope that happens. And by the way, join us next Friday night, 7 o'clock, for our Witherspoon Insurance pregame show out of stadium, and then our in-stadium Cleveland Regional Medical Center in-stadium pregame show, as we have the Shelby Golden Lions and the Crest Chargers
Sports
at
fans,
Shelby High School.
If you are going to come see that game, I would advise you get here early, because there's never been a game quite like the Crest-Shelby game in a regular year, much less when they're playing for a conference championship.
No doubt. So join us next Friday night, 7 o'clock, right here on ktcbroadcasting.com and 1390 AM WOHS. For Jeff Jones, Stephen DeGree, this is Brent Pasco signing off and taking it back to the studio.